Happy Monday. How are you? How are you feeling today? How did you play this weekend? Or should I say, did you play this weekend? Did you play as hard as you worked? What did you do for fun this weekend? Did you go outside? Did you play with your children? Did you have some social play time? Did you relax? Did you read a book? How did you unwind this weekend? Share with me in the chat how you played this weekend. Did you play as hard as you worked? This morning, when the alarm went off, were you excited to get up and go to work today, or were you dreading it? Did you get straight out of bed? Did you hop out of bed, or did you hit the snooze button 10, 15, 30 times? It's very important. Share with me in the chat if you were excited to go to work today, if you dreaded it, if you hopped out of bed excited, or if you hit the snooze button many times. Share with me in the chat. If you were excited to go to work today, good job. You're in a position you love. You're with the company you like. You're doing purposeful work. You really enjoy what it is that you're doing, and you're also managing your stress. So you're playing as hard as you work. And that's why work come Monday morning doesn't feel like a burden to you. But if your alarm went off this morning and you had a sense of dread or anxiety or panic, or you felt negative or any negative emotion behind getting up and going to work today, it means one of the two things. One, it means that you could not be playing as hard as you work, which means you are burning yourself out. You are working without playing. Play is a biological need. It is not optional. It is something that you must make a priority in your life, or your overall quality of life will decrease. So if you're not playing as hard as you work, you're not managing your stress, and everything around you will feel like a burden. Or two, you may not be with the correct company. You may not be doing the most meaningful or purposeful work, or work that drives you or make you excited, which is okay. We are in transition to some place. So if you need to make some changes so that you can improve the overall quality of your life, it's best that you do that, because you have one life. You want to enjoy your one life. Work is your biggest source for inspiration and play. It's how we add much needed value into the world. It is how we show up and be our best self. It is a part of our life work, right? And so we want our life work to be valuable. We want it to be something meaningful, something that we feel excited about, something that we wake up to do every day with a smile on our face and with a playful mood and spirit and attitude. So let's get to a place where works feels like an extension of play, and it doesn't even feel like you're working at all. You're so excited to get up and contribute something to the world, because that's what work is. It's a contribution to the world. So where are you located? I'm located in Raleigh. It is a beautiful day in Raleigh. It's been a beautiful weekend. So I spent most of my time this weekend outdoors, in nature, around family, enjoying myself. What did you do this weekend? Where do you live? And how's the weather where you are? Because it is beautiful in Raleigh. And so I've been taking full advantage of it. Okay, I have about 1 minute and then I'll go ahead and get started. So as you can hear, it's the birds chirping outside. Ooh, beautiful. Shortly, the sun will probably start to rise more and more as the afternoon progresses. So the sun will make a guest appearance in our video as well. Okay. I'm going to give it about 30 seconds or so. I come on every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at noon. On Mondays, I give a new tip, tool, trick, or technique to manage stress. On Wednesdays, it's our wellness work break. So we normally do a little deep breathing. On Fridays, it's Fun Funny Fridays. We normally do laughter yoga. So join me at noon. So we can, as a community, practice stress management. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'm not sure if this is a 15-minute break for you, or if this is a 30-minute lunch or an hour lunch. So I like to keep it within 15 minutes so that people have time to learn what they need and have time to practice before they go back to work. So I will go ahead and get started. Welcome, Work Life Warriors. I am Ebony Davenport, and I teach stress management. I show people how to utilize fun management solutions to decrease stress and counter burnout so that we're happier, healthier, and well balanced. I use over 50 tips, tools, tricks, and techniques to manage stress. But today we are going to talk about food and beverage. Well, let's start off with a little stress chat as always, and then we will go right into the topic. So, what is stress? Everybody knows what stress is, but it's so hard to talk about, right? We all have different ideas of stress and different definitions of stress, and there isn't one single unifying definition in the literature. In English philosophy, it is the lack of inner peace. In Western culture, it is the loss of control. So stress is problematic because it's ambiguous. Our definitions differ. How stress affects our mind and body is different. Uh, and in general, stress, or what we consider stress, changes depending on our mood, correct? So again, what is stress? Or not just our mood, also the scenario, depending on what type of scenario we're in, because we have plenty of times where the same thing has happened and we have shown up different, right? So, again, what is stress? Let's blend the Eastern philosophy and Western culture's definition of stress and say that stress is feeling out of control instead of inner peace, right? And there are three steps. There's perceiving a threat, which is called appraisal. There's coping and adapting. In the stress community, we talk a lot about stress being a relationship between a person's perceptions, needs, and abilities and the conditions of the environment. So, how we perceive control over our environment causes stress. So, that means work, outside in the world, our household. If we feel like we do not have control, then we feel stressed out. If something is threatening our inner peace, then we feel stressed out. There are two types of stress. Now, normally when we're talking about stress, we are talking about distress, and that is the bad stress. That is the stress when we say we're so stressed out, or this is causing stress, or I feel like I'm getting close to burned out. That is distress. But there's also a good stress, which means that stress can work for you or it can work against you. But overall, just too much stress is bad for you. But the good stress is called eustress. That's when you graduate, you go on vacation, you buy something that you always wanted. It causes good stress in your life, which causes you to stretch, push, grow, develop, maybe accomplish something that you always wanted to accomplish. Although there are two different types of stress, good stress and bad stress, you still do not want to have too much stress, period, because stress is not normal. I know we live in an environment where we think stress is normal, but it is not. Challenges are normal, pressure is normal. It is what we need to grow, to develop, to be our best self. Pressure and challenges, but stress is in a class all on its own, and we only need a little bit of stress to push us to our highest capacity. We do not constantly need to be stressed. We should not feel stressed daily because our body has consequences for feeling stress. And if we're in positions where we're constantly stressed, we're doing a disservice to our body because we're not dealing with stress, whether it's good stress or bad stress. Too much of it breaks down our body, right? It produces too much cortisol. So we do not want to consistently stay stressed. So, depending on the severity, the duration, and the frequency of your stressors, it can cause some major health concerns, and it can also affect your overall well being or the quality of your life. And so, we want to be careful about how much stress we intake every single day. And that's why stress management is so important. It's non negotiable. It is something that you must make a priority. Uh, in life, there are stimuluses that happen all the time. You have stimuli all the time. It can be something simple as a chirp from your phone, and it could be something major as receiving some bad news, right? There's so many stimuli in our everyday environment, and when we are stimulated, we have an opportunity to do one of the two things. The first thing that is that we can react without even thinking about it, right? Stimulus happens, we react, we don't think about what it is that we want, the other person, where we're at, what we need. We just react without thinking. That is the normal way that we handle stress, right? Or the normal way that we handle stimulus is just to react without thinking. But stress management is honoring the pause, because there is a pause. When a stimulus happens or something happens around you, you have an opportunity to pause, to take a deep breath, to think about what your needs are, what your wants are, what you expect the other person, and then respond instead of react. And stress management is just honoring the pause. It is moving from stimulus react to stimulus pause respond, right? Stress management is mindfulness and prevention. So one way to reduce stress is through what we eat and drink. Our ancestors have been around for about 6 million years, right? The modern form of human only evolved about 20,000 years ago. Civilization as we know it is only about 6,000 years old. And industrialization started in the early 1800s. Before then, we lived directly off the land. Human beings are intimately connected to planet Earth. And this sacred relationship is what helped us to survive all of this long time. We are omnivores. We eat almost anything found in nature with the exception of grass and wood. Before the last 10,000 years, our ancestors roamed the land as hunters and gatherers. Their diet is commonly known as the Paleolithic diet of the hunter and gatherers, right? And they were predominant for about 2 million years. Their diet contained about 19% to 36% protein, 22% to about 46% carbs, and about 100 to 100%, from about 100 to 150 grams of fiber daily. And their potassium to sodium ratio was about 10 to 1. It was very challenging and a struggle physically to find meat, and they will be lucky to eat it just one time a day. Now we have an abundance of food and we eat meat for every meal. The standard American diet is very, very, very different from our ancestors' diet. The typical American diet consists of more processed and contaminated food, and it's getting progressively worse. The typical Western diet is characterized by high intakes of saturated fatty acids, trans fatty acids, and low intake of mono and polysaturated fatty acids, dietary fiber, and micronutrients. More than half of Americans are overweight or obese, and obesity continues to nearly 1 in 5 deaths. Or, sorry, obesity contributes to nearly 1 in 5 deaths in America. Research shows that nearly 50% of the population has one or more chronic illness, such as asthma, heart disease, obesity, cancer, diabetes, and 40 million adults in the United States ages 18 or older are infected by mental illnesses like anxiety disorder and depression. Americans suffer from more degenerative lifestyle related elements like heart disease, some forms of cancer, diabetes, stroke, causing many healthcare providers to suggest a link between what people eat and how they feel. Work consumes most of our life and it is demanding and stressful. Eating healthy can reduce stress. When your body is so chronically stressed, it breaks down protein to prepare for battle, but certain foods can moderate the body's level of cortisol, the stress hormone. While the foods you are eating during high stress can benefit you in the moment, too much of it can harm you in the long run. Food is the nutrition you need to grow and repair, and helping you to stay strong and healthy and help you to prevent disease related illnesses. When we lived off the land, all of our food was organic, natural, and nutritious. We had little to no diet related illnesses, or more life diet related deficiencies. Right now, we have foods with no nutritional value at all. We as a country are now starting to respect the ancient proverb, let thy food be thy medicine, because I am starting to see a shift in how we're eating, not necessarily the diet crazes, but you're starting to see or let me at least say, I look at other people's carts while I'm in the grocery store, and I start to see more people purchasing fruits and vegetables and more healthier items and more foods from the outside of the perimeter of the grocery store than the inside aisles. So nutrition refers to the ingestion of food and their relationship to health. Nutrients are chemicals in foods that are used by the body and must be derived from the diet. Proper nutrients result primarily from our food choices. So, proper digestion, absorption, metabolism, and elimination requires high quality foods that contain optimum nutrients, right? So, let's talk a little bit about the 2 and 3 o'clock slump because that greatly affects what we contribute while we're at work, what we produce, right? Our body has a circadian rhythm. It is a 24-hour internal clock that is running in the background of our brain and cycles between sleepiness and alertness at regular intervals. It is also known as our sleep wake cycle. One of these cycles is between 2 and 3 o'clock, which we call the 2 to 3 o'clock slump. We all know it by different names. Some of us call it the itis. According to the National Sleep Foundation, for most adults, the biggest dip in energy happens in the middle of the night, somewhere between 2 and 4 a.m., when they're usually fast asleep, and just after lunchtime, somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock, which they tend to crave a post lunch nap. Depending on what we have for lunch, the more severe the slump. It just seems like we are miserable at our desk, waiting for the clock to hit our takeoff time. We're counting the time until we get off. It's like the heavier we eat, the harder the 2 or 3 o'clock slump is. Please share with me in the chat if you have experienced the 2 or 3 o'clock slump and if it's more severe based on what you're eating. Share with me if you look around 2 or 3 o'clock and you see people yawning at their desk or taking a nap. Some people used to take a nap with their eyes closed. You would hear them snoring when you walk up on them. So it is a very big problem in cubicle life. Like clockwork, one small yawn turns into an orchestra of yawns. It's actually kind of cool. The slump was a really, really big problem where I worked. It was high energy all day, mid-afternoon, then all of a sudden the energy will drop and it will crash. Although the customers persisted, they didn't know it was the 2 or 3 o'clock slump. I noticed mine and I counted it with many things like rising early, green smoothies, eating a salad for lunch, and I started taking a late lunch. Sometimes I would get up, I would stretch, I would walk around, I would laugh, I would socialize. Science says that humans can hold our attention for 25 minutes. So I would practice the Pomodoro technique. I will focus for 25 minutes. Then I would take a 5 minute break. I would walk around. I would stretch. I would laugh. I would do whatever it takes, go out into nature so that I could beat the 2 o'clock slump. Uh, if sometimes we are very busy and we cannot get up every 25 minutes, I understand that. But we definitely have to get up every 50 minutes and take a 10-minute break. It is so important to your body. Your body is not meant to be stagnant. It's not meant to always be sitting, to looking at screens for 8, 12 hours a day. So we need to take a break away from the desk, away from our screens, just to kind of be. It's so important. As far as the water, we all depend on water, and planet Earth is full of it, right? All living things need water to survive. It is the foundation of our very existence. According to PubChem, water appear as a clear, non-toxic liquid composed of hydrogen and oxygen, essential for life, and the most widely used solvent. It is oxygen hydrate consisting of oxygen atom that is covalently bonded to two hydrogen atoms. Ooh, tongue tied today. Bonded to two hydrogen atoms. So here's some fun facts. 71% of water, 71% of the earth is water, and less then 1% of it is drinkable. Water comprises of 2/3 of the body. So 2/3 of the body is water. The heart and the brain is 7% water. The lungs are 83% water. And believe it or not, our bones are 31% water. The human body can survive up to 5 weeks without food, but only can survive a few days without water. So that's how important water is. So there are too many people around me that openly admit that they don't eat vegetables or fruits or drink water. I drive past many fast food restaurants in the morning and see a line inside or at the drive-through. At lunch, all the restaurants are packed or people are eating food that are sure to make them crash around 2 or 3 o'clock. Food can be used to benefit you or deplete you. You can get many calories and little nutrients from certain food choices. A healthy diet enriched in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, low fat dairy is a very smart decision. Eating healthy isn't always easy, especially in this society, but committing to a healthy diet has its rewards. A well balanced diet provides many different benefits, from the way your body feels, from how you think, to your mood, to your abilities, to your skill. It really is like fueling your car. So when you wake up from breakfast, what is the first thing you put in your mouth? What is the first thing you fuel your body with after your breakfast? You're breaking from the fast. What do you eat throughout the day? Right? What you eat is so important. What is the first thing you put inside of your mouth? Whatever you keep put inside of your body, the first thing you put in your body is the sustainer. It is what you will use throughout the day to sustain your body. So what are you? It's what you're breaking your fast with, and it's what you're sustaining your body. So share with me in the chat. What is the first thing you put in your mouth when you wake up in the morning? What you eat throughout the day is equally important. It is the energy you need to keep you engaged and active. What you eat has a big impact on your brain, including the parts that regulate your mood. Your diet is the nutrition you need to grow and repair. It helps you to stay strong and healthy and help you to prevent disease and illness, which is so important. Not all food is created equal. Simple health choices such as replacing soda with water, choosing vegetables instead of chips, or ordering a side salad in place of the fries will not only help you but boost and refuel your vehicle, help you lose weight, and it can help you save money. You can also pack the nutritious foods that you need to curb or satisfy your cravings. It's up to you to make your life better and pick the foods that will fuel your vehicle, because it is a vehicle. In the morning, I start my day off with some water. That is how I break my fast, and I'll wait a little while and then I'll start it off with some fruit juice. It's very important to get your fruits out the way. You can eat them throughout the day, but I like to start my mornings off with getting all my fruit in for the day, and then make sure that I have a salad for lunch. So, in addition to the foods that you eat that can help sustain you or that can increase your mood, how your body functions, you can add superfoods to enhance the benefits to your overall health and well being. And superfoods are very easy to find. Right now, we're going through a health crisis, and you can find these things everywhere. They're labeled everywhere on the packets. And find ways, fun, creative ways to incorporate these things into your diet. So, looks like I have about 20 minutes. This is a perfect time to stop. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or put them in the chat. You can message me on social media. I will try my best to answer them when I have time. I also do stress management lifestyle consulting. So if that's something that you are looking to do, which is to understand your stressors and figure out a plan to address them and manage your stress throughout your days, and then join a community of practice of people who are like-minded, also working on practicing their stress, please contact me, or you can go to the link in the description, which will have my calendar. We could do a free 15-minute consultation and then set up a stress management lifestyle consultant. Also, every third Saturday of the month, I do a stress management fun shop. So if you're looking to come together as a community and learn 10 tips, tools, tricks, or techniques to manage stress in a fun way, please check out my website and my social medias for that. It is a fun way to learn stress management. The first 25 minutes is stress education. And then the last hour and a half is a party implementing all of what we learn. We use social play to enjoy ourselves as we take these tools, tips, tricks, and techniques and learn to incorporate them into an already busy life. And then also, I am here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon. So join me if you are interested in learning about stress management. So that is my time. I hope that this helps work life warriors. Please let me know if it do. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. And remember, make a plan to play today. Make a plan to play every day. Make a plan to play in your way. It is up to you. Manage your stress. Only you will benefit from doing so. You have one life. To improve the overall quality of life, you must satisfy your biological need, which is to play. So, as always, work life warriors, happy Monday. Have a great day. Play. And I will see you Wednesdays at noon for our wellness work break.